morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hopefully you're having a great weekend, getting ready for a exciting day of football once again. Good to see you, bro.
Yes, sir.
As you know, I'm Brad. He's Justin. I could be wrong, but this is the best part of your Sunday morning before football starts. All those other pregame shows, boring as hell. They say the same thing over and over again, talk about the same shit over and over again. We're going to do something a little different and talk about different shit.
Different shit.
How you like that? Oh, before we get started, though, hey, just want everyone to go to touchdownthreads.shop, get you a red and gold rally towel. Niners fans, they are available. Touchdownthreads.shop. And if you live in the Arizona or Phoenix area and we'll be attending the San Francisco 49ers and Arizona Cardinals football game, be on the lookout for us peddling these things.
Show up in full force, baby.
That's right.
Red and gold out here.
That's
Gonna
right.
Kill the birds.
That's right. New Trey Lance nameplate came in case you guys can't see there. It says, fuck Dallas.
Love it.
All right, let's go ahead and get started here and talk about a few things that happened over the past few days in the world of sports. Some entertaining things and some not so entertaining things. We're going to start with a couple of things that aren't so entertaining. First off, Joe Burrow. Unfortunately, he has a season-ending injury. Unfortunately for me, because he's on my fantasy team, one of them. But more unfortunate for the Cincinnati Bengals, who had Super Bowl aspirations this year coming into the season. They were starting to look like they were getting into form. They whooped the 49ers pretty well. Had a few wins coming, back to back. And they were looking pretty good in that Baltimore game. Looked like they started to get their footing. We're starting to get the momentum in the game. And then as soon as he threw the ball, the touchdown pass to Mixon, it was a wrap after that. And they really had no shot. I think their season is pretty much done, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. The game of football really is just better with Joe Burrow healthy. He's an elite quarterback in the league. It is very unfortunate. I've been a fan since he came into the league. The Bengals season is going to be quite rocky without him, and it's just unfortunate. That over there in that conference or in that division, all of the teams had a shot to make the playoffs. All the teams had a shot to win their division as well. And it's just a big blow to them, so really unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case anymore. Definitely unfortunate for the Bengals, but as you mentioned, I think it's really unfortunate for football fans in general, especially come playoff time, because Joe Burrow is one of those guys all right, he's going to come out here and give it everything he's got and really give his team a chance to win every game. So get well soon, Joe Burrow. We look forward to seeing you next year, throwing the ball all over the field again.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned rocky seasons. Let's talk about some folks that are having a rocky season right now.
Oh, man.
Buffalo Bills. What is going on in Buffalo?
I don't think anyone knows.
Yeah, they really had no business being in the game. What was it? Monday night? Yeah.
Monday night.
No business being in the game Monday night. Denver really outplayed them, but somehow they found themselves with the lead at the end of the game. And as luck may have it, Broncos missed a field goal. It was Broncos, right?
Yep.
Missed a field goal. And sure enough, Buffalo beat themselves again. Had too many men on the field. Broncos got another kick. And Mike Pitts hit his fly over here. Or Rudy Giuliani, whoever it was. Anyways, and then they fired Ken Dorsey. So it's really surprising that he's the fall guy and the scapegoat for Josh Allen. I understand you're the offensive coordinator, but I'd probably start with maybe my quarterback's coach, the guy that's working directly with the quarterback every day. Maybe that was Ken Dorsey. I don't know, but whoever's in charge of working with Josh Allen on a daily basis, that person is probably the one that needs to be let go as well.
He needs to cut down on the mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
The mistakes that he makes, and not just mistakes in big situation mistakes. You just can't do that if you're going to be an elite quarterback. And we know that he is going to be the long-term quarterback in Buffalo based on the contract they gave him. So if they want it to work out, he just needs to clean up the mistakes. So like you said, whoever's working closely with them, whether it's a QB coach or someone, I think that's the main thing. Yeah. You clean up those mistakes. I think he leads the league in the last 2 years with
since he's been in the league.
Yeah, since he's been in the league.
He's been in the league, he leads the league in turnovers.
They clean that up, and a lot changes for them. But until they do, same old Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Stephon Diggs is probably going to find a way to get out of there. I know he distanced himself, they say, from the tweets that his brother sent out. But, that's just to keep the peace in the locker room till the end of the season, I think.
Yeah.
We've seen him blow up on the sidelines. He's definitely not happy there.
No.
I think Sean McDermott is coaching for his job the rest of this season. And really, unless they actually make the playoffs and go on a deep run, I think he's going to lose his job either way.
Wow. Interesting.
I really think that's the case. And I don't think he's doing a bad job, and I don't think the Buffalo Bills think he's doing a bad job. I think that they feel like, all right, we've peaked. This is as far as you're going to get us. You're not going to get us over the hump. We need that guy that's going to get us over the hump. And obviously there's a name out there in Michigan right now that probably going to be a hot commodity once football is over in college. So be interesting to see. But yeah, Buffalo right now. They say nobody circles the wagons better than the Buffalo Bills. We'll see, because right now they are in trouble.
Yeah, they definitely are.
All right, so let's move on to a couple of things that happened in the NBA over the last week or so. Obviously, I'm sure everyone has seen the video and heard about it. Draymond Green suspended 5 games for choking Rudy Gobert. One of the craziest scenes that we've seen in recent time in the NBA with a guy just out of nowhere, not trying to break up a fight, which is normally what tries to happen. He ran over there. I think he had it planned at some point. If I get the chance, I'm choking the shit out of Rudy Gobert, and that was his chance. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I get where you come in and, Gobert did grab his player. Yeah. So you come in as, I know Draymond's an aggressive, he's going to retaliate.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows that Draymond's going to retaliate.
Absolutely.
But you have to know when to let go.
Yeah.
And I think in the video you saw plenty of times Coach Kerr saying, Draymond, let go.
Yeah,
And that was probably really what got him the 5 games. If he had just, went in there, grabbed him, moved Gobert away, and then walked away, probably wouldn't have been so bad. Maybe game.
I think that obviously that that contributed, but I think what contributed just as much is just his history.
Yeah.
Of those types of plays, being aggressive, crossing the line, things like that. But yeah, I think had he grabbed him, pulled him off, and then kind of tried to separate them, it'd have been a completely different story. But the fact that he held on and he looked like he was in an MMA fight trying to choke him out for real, I think that escalated it, and in the NBA's eyes was too much.
Right.
At the same time, though, if you think about it, in an 82-game season, what's 5 games to Draymond?
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, Draymond, stop choking people out, man. Come on, bro.
People out. Dogs want the attention.
Sadie's trying to tell us what's up right now. All right, we had to pause for a second, pause production, because we got attack. Who let the dogs out?
Who?
Fucking punk ass dogs. Anyways. All right, back to it. Draymond, stop choking people out, like I said. Now let's talk about some positive that happened in the NBA over the last week. Actually, in the last 12 hours or so.
12 hours.
Yeah. This guy right here missed all of last year, unfortunately. He plays for your favorite team.
Woo!
Chet Holmgren, an excellent player. He's really a really skilled big man, and he's really been impressive over these first couple of weeks of the NBA season. And last night had a hell of a play to put OKC in OT.
Yep.
We'll take a look at it really quick here. You see, Steph misses, goes out to Wiggins, who was balling the whole fourth quarter.
I knew he was going to hit
and the Warriors are going to escape with the victory again. But then, Chet dropped the bomb.
Chet
dropped the bomb.
That was clean.
And then OKC obviously came away with the victory in OT. So great job to OKC, number one, playing really well. SGA doing a great job leading them. But shout out to Chet Holmgren, who is right now, we were just talking about it, probably the leader for Rookie of the Year in the NBA because of the way they do things. And since he didn't play last year, this is technically his rookie year.
Yeah.
He qualifies, and as good as Wemby looked the first week of the season, I think Chet is really starting to separate himself right now as probably the leader in that race.
Yeah, it's consistency, and as a Thunder fan, I pay really, really close attention to those guys, and I think it's just a consistency thing. Wemby will get his legs under him, and he's going to continue to be great, but efficiency-wise, he is much more efficient than Wemby at this point as well, as far as scoring goes. And the thing is, he's not far off, points-wise from Wemby, and he's not even the primary scorer on the Thunder. Yeah. SGA is clearly the primary scorer. In some games, he's not even the second scorer. Yeah. Jalen Williams is. So I think the way he's going about his business this year, he's not afraid to get into guys, even with his slim body. He's very aggressive, and the dude can shoot the ball. So all in all, he's just a phenomenal athlete, which is hard. It's hard to compete against something like that. He's 7'3", and man. Yeah. But the team overall had a phenomenal. Great. They played great, and I'm super excited as a fan.
They are playing.
He had 36 last night, and SGA had 40. And then Jalen Williams had 22. Yeah. So. Yeah. That's
really
pretty good.
Really good young team. Exciting to watch. Number one. Couple things I would say is couple things about Chet. I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to say that he's one of the best players to ever play the game. But he reminds me a lot of a young Kevin Durant as far as his build. Kind of looks awkward at times when he's got the ball and he's shooting, but it's effective. He's hard to defend because you can't get up there and block a shot. He's got the quickness to get by most big men, I would say. So that's number one. Again, I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant, but at that stage in his career, very similar. Now, the other thing I would say is I really am excited and looking forward to watching Chet Holmgren and Wemby battle it out for the next 10, 12 years.
Me too.
It's going to be really exciting. I think the future of the NBA is really in good hands with a couple big guys like this.
Yeah. I will say, with regards to your comparison with Kevin Durant, Chet's actually a lot more aggressive than Durant ever was at driving to the basket. And his ball handling skills are actually much better than Durant's at that stage of their career as well.
You know more than me.
He can handle the rock, and I watched Kevin Durant too a long time. I saw him a lot of times fumble the ball away in big key playoff games as well. As his handles weren't quite there, kind of like Chet's are, and I think Chet has a lot of room to grow as well. He's only in his in his first season, so we'll see. Yeah. He's got a long way to go before he's on KD's
Absolutely,
level.
I would say.
But at that stage,
I think it's a good comparison. To be honest with you,
I think so too.
All right, so we'll jump into some football and talk about football for a while before we wrap up with NBA as basketball is getting ramped up. We'll start talking more about basketball along the way during our podcasts.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Tori's top 5, which you can find at ICoulldBeWrongSports.com. This week, he has the Eagles still at number 1, Chiefs number 2, 49ers number 3, Cowboys number 4, and the Cleveland Browns at number 5. Disclaimer, excuse me, this was generated. He did write his top 5 rankings before Deshaun Watson was injured. I know you have some feelings about that, but just want to put that out there. This was before the Thursday game where Baltimore won, and it was before Deshaun Watson was announced as out for the rest of the season. So, what are your thoughts before I give mine?
Well, I mean, a week ago, the 49 I like the Eagles, I like the Chiefs, so let me start there. But a week ago, the Niners came off a bye week, off 3 straight losses. They were outside of everyone's top 5, even my top 5, probably like 7-ish maybe, just because of the way they had looked. So I think having them at 3 is probably still a little too high. I want to see how they do in what could be a potential trap game today against Tampa Bay. If they perform well and take care of business from start to finish like they should, then, I start putting them back in the top 3. I would have my Niners at 5 right now.
I agree.
So, have them at number 5, right on the inside of that top 5. At number 3, I'd probably go Cowboys. Dak is playing really, really good right now. CeeDee's doing things that the NFL hasn't seen. But this order is fluid. So I could also put the Lions there, but I'm going to put the Lions at 4. Okay. So that's my top 5. I have the Cleveland on the outside. Even with Deshaun as their starter, without him, I even have them further back.
I got you. All right. So obviously, like you said, it's fluid. I can't argue with the top 2. Eagles have the best record in the league. Chiefs have the best record in the AFC. Surprise, surprise. We're going to find out who's number 1 Monday night.
Yep, it's going to be great.
When these 2 teams play, hopefully we get to see an exciting game. Obviously, the Super Bowl was very close and exciting, so hopefully we see something similar to that. So, really can't argue with the top 2. I disagree with the order. I think that the Chiefs are right now the best team in football. Still, I've been saying it for the last few weeks since the 49ers started hitting their skid.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't you can make an argument either way. As far as number 3, I would have Baltimore in there. The way they look, Baltimore Ravens. They only got 2 losses. I know that they could have lost Thursday night. It was looking like it was going to be a great game until Joe Burrow went down. But right now I'd have Baltimore at number 3. I'd have the 49ers at number 4. And then I would have the Cowboys at number 5, to be honest with you. Detroit is right there on the edge. I still I'm trusting them more and more, but I still got to see it when the chips are on the table. So
I chuckled right now because this list is so fluid that my top 5 just changed. And I just put Baltimore right in there at 3 because they actually, I can't believe I forgot about them, and I had them in my top 5 last week. They clearly are playing great football. They're pretty healthy right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The OBJ injury will be interesting. See if he's, because he landed, I think he's something with his shoulder at the end of the game. Yeah. Mark Andrews is a big loss for them for sure. Because that's Lamar's go-to guy. So and they expect him to be out the rest of the season. But
so then I guess the 49ers move out of my top 5. But nonetheless, I mean, it's
a fluid list. I agree with you. I have the 49ers. Actually, I have the 49ers at number 4.
Right.
But I think that they definitely could vault up. I'm with you though. I want to see how they do because this is a trap game for them. Yeah. As far as they have a short week. They have to travel to Seattle for Thanksgiving for the late game. And we know how going to Seattle is on a full week, let alone a short week. Right. So hopefully they can take care of business against Tampa, get the starters some rest would be nice. And really get that momentum going. Side note, I do have a wager with Tori Ziska. I told him the 49ers are going to go undefeated for the rest of the season. We have an order of wings on it. Not that I needed a reason to buy wings, but it always makes it more fun.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, so let's move on to fantasy football talk this week. Boom or bust. We're going to start with boom. We're going to do something a little different this week. First, we are going to start with the boom of the year before Justin gives us his boom alert for week 11.
Yeah, boom of the year. But someone who I actually really, really like. Yeah. I have him in multiple leagues. C.J. Stroud, the rookie phenom. We can call him that at this point. We're 9 games in. He's playing lights out. He's right up there in the MVP talk.
He leads the league in passing yards.
Leads the league in passing yards. No.
Or a couple going into last week, he did something like that.
But right now he's QB6 in fantasy. He's averaging like 290 yards a game. He's efficient. He's very efficient. He's since week 4, he's 5th ranked QB in total QBR. He's got 15 passing touchdowns, only 2 interceptions on the year, which for a rookie is phenomenal. But you know what makes it even more amazing is he's doing it with other rookies. Yeah. It's not it's not like he has a team of veterans around him. Nico Collins has been in the league a couple years. Noah Brown's been in the league, I think, 6 years. But Tank Dell's a rookie. Their running back room's very young. With Singletary, he's only been in the league a couple years. Damian Pierce now his 2nd year.
They got a bright future.
So, just the fact that he's this efficient, this good, this early with a first-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator, all in all, just, man, is phenomenal. But he's my boom of the year right now for fantasy football. Anyone wants to argue with me, let's do it.
You're
because you are absolutely wrong.
So, he leads the league in yards per game.
Yeah.
Sam Howell actually leads the league in total yards.
He throws like 50 times a game.
But they've played an extra game. So that's why he's got 2,700.
He hasn't had his bye week yet.
Yeah, they haven't had their bye week yet. So, but yeah, C.J. Stroud leads the league in passing yards per game. He's been killing it. Obviously, that leads to a ton of fantasy points.
Yep.
We were just talking about it. He's not only the boom of the year in fantasy football, he's the boom of the year as far as on the field as well. Houston could not have hit a bigger home run in the draft, and thank goodness for their sake that the Carolina Panthers so far have appeared to whiff on Bryce Young. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's quite a letdown. I think that's a combination of coaching and offensive line over there for Bryce, unfortunately.
They're devoid of a lot of talent in Carolina. And we, as 49ers fans, thank you for that. All right. So let's talk about this week in particular. Give us your boom of the week.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud's running mate, whom we just talked about, Tank Dell, who's been playing lights out. If it wasn't for C.J. Stroud, he could be making a case for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. But also, if it wasn't for C.J. Stroud, he might not be having that season. Yeah. So they actually complement each other very well. And this week against Arizona, which does not have a great defense, not very good in pass defense at all, I think C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell have opportunity for really, really big games this week. So that's going to be my boom of the week.
All right, cool. I like it. Yeah, I think we were talking about last week. Remember, we had a small parlay that included Tank Dell.
Yeah.
That worked out pretty well for us, and we've been talking about, like, he's really solid, and I think, like you said, he complements C.J. Stroud really well. They have a really good connection, and got a pretty good matchup today too. So I think it's going to be a very good shot of him booming.
Yeah, I think so too. Good opportunity.
Yep. All right, so let's move on to bust. We're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the bust of the year, and we were both wrong on this guy this year so far.
I think a lot of people were wrong, and it's probably really destroyed a lot of people's fantasy seasons. Tony Pollard is the fantasy bust of the year at this point. And it's really unfortunate because everyone thought, man, he's going to have a breakout season. Team let go of Zeke, who, by the way, had a great game last week.
Too bad he plays for the Patriots.
Yeah. Nonetheless, he's just not getting the opportunities this season like everyone thought he would be getting. He's averaging somewhere around 15 touches a game. It's a running back. Well, it's not really running back by committee. It's just Dallas is actually more committed to the passing game this season. They are throwing the ball a lot more. Pollard is ranked outside of the top 20. In most formats. So, yeah, I think people were considering him a top 5 back going into the year. He was getting drafted much higher. And so, just that gap of where everyone thought he would be and where he is. He's played every game of the year. Yeah. He's been healthy. So, there's no reason other than he's just not getting it done. He's not very efficient with the opportunities he's getting. And Dallas is throwing the ball a lot more.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely a unpleasant surprise for those that have him on your fantasy roster. I'm one of those folks. So not only has my team been ravaged by injuries, thanks a lot, Joe Burrow, the guys that aren't injured aren't producing. So thanks a lot, Tony Pollard. Should have never picked any damn Cowboys to begin with, except for CeeDee Lamb. All right, so let's talk about this week. Who do you have as your bust alert for week 11?
Yeah, so my bust alert. Why are you shaking your head, my guy?
No, I'm shaking my head for this guy. For this guy over here. That guy right there. Yeah. You guys can see him
on your screen.
Yeah, I'm for him.
Yeah. So, this week,
bad news for you, buddy.
It is bad news for Rachaad White. 49ers defense, I'm hoping bounces back again in another big way. Has a second consecutive big week this week. And Rachaad White, just like they, shut down Etienne last week, they should have no problem shutting down White, who honestly hasn't looked bad the last couple of weeks. This season, his performance hasn't gone unnoticed by me, maybe by others, but he hasn't played terribly, especially these last few weeks. His major value is in PPR. He's getting a lot of receptions. His yards per carry, he's not very efficient in the run game, but the 49ers, I think, should really limit his opportunities this week, and there's your bust.
Yeah, man. If the 49ers defense plays anywhere close to the way they played last week, this guy and Baker Mayfield or anybody, if you have any Bucks on your team, sit them. Because it was. If you watched the game last week, you know what happened. I'm not sure that the Bucks offense is better than the Jags offense. So
no, I don't think they are.
And it's a home game
by any stretch of the imagination.
And it's a home game for the Niners.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, almost every game's a home game for them, no matter where they play, for the most part.
We travel well,
especially in LA. Anyways, but yeah, I think that's definitely a great candidate for bust this week. All right, let's talk about. It's a little past midseason, so don't kill us, but we're gonna give some midseason MVP talk. I'll go ahead and go first. These are not in any particular order, so I don't want everybody to think that I have C.J. Stroud number 1 or anything like that. But I have my 3 candidates. I have C.J. Stroud, who's playing phenomenal. If you take him off the Houston Texans, they might have one win by fluke. Dak Prescott, you mentioned he's been playing phenomenal. Might be playing one of the best stretches of his career right now.
Yep.
I have him in there. And then you can call me a homer if you want, but I have some stats that I can spit to back it up. I have Brock Purdy in there as well. Go.
I do have C.J. Stroud as my number 1 in the race right now. And the reason is, I mean, the talent on the team, I mean, is very young. It's very ripe still. They, with what he's done with the people around him and the team around him, and again, I mentioned earlier, first-year coach, GM's new, like everything's brand new over there. Yep. This team had the 2nd and 3rd pick of the draft last year, and and they have a real shot to make the playoffs.
They might win their division.
Right? So he's got 15 touchdown passes. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns. He's only got 2 interceptions. He's second in the league in total passing yards. He averages 291 yards a game. I mean,
yeah.
What more do you want from a quarterback, you know? He's right at the same level as a rookie as Mahomes is right now, you know, and all these guys, stat-wise. Stat-wise this season.
Breaks,
So let me just say that. Yeah. All these guys have really similar stats this year, but I think the thing that makes it just so much more amazing is that he's a rookie. He's doing it with other rookies, and not just rookie players, just rookies all across the board. Coach, assistants, coordinators, GM, head to toe. So I think that does. And then after that, it could go in any order. I have Stroud as my number 1, though. Okay. Then Mahomes, then Tua. Mahomes is being Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah, Tua's just in a really good freaking offense. They're pretty high-powered.
They are.
They're putting up numbers.
All right, cool. I mean, obviously you can't argue with Mahomes being in the MVP race. He's got KC right where they typically are at this time of year. Tua playing phenomenal. We talked about it a little bit last night when we were going through this a little. I would say Tyreek Hill's probably more valuable to the Dolphins than Tua, but you know, I could be wrong, and the reason that I feel that way could be because Tua makes him look like that. So possibly. I just think that he demands so much attention, and he just like he did with Mahomes, he bails his quarterback out of so many situations where the defense just can't keep up with them, and you know, but you have to be able to extend plays and be able to find that guy that's doing that. So you gotta give Tua credit. I think again, like I said, Dak's playing really well, so I'd put him ahead of Tua. I know the one guy on the list that everyone's probably like, why the hell is he on the screen, is Brock Purdy. But to be honest with you, Brock Purdy is leading the league in passer rating. He's leading the league in QBR, which is a new fancy stat over the last few years everyone likes to use instead of passer rating. Not only that, he has just as many touchdown passes as C.J. Stroud. Yeah. Has just as many rushing touchdowns as C.J. Stroud. He does have 3 more interceptions, but he doesn't have any lost fumbles. C.J. Stroud does have 1. Dak, we know, has had a bunch of turnovers. Still got 6 weeks left, Dak, to prove us wrong or prove yourself right, actually, that you're not going to have 10 interceptions. Yeah. You're over halfway there. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. But at the same time, these last few weeks he's been playing ever since the 49ers put the beat down on him. He's turned better. He's turned it around, played really well. CeeDee Lamb, as you mentioned, is playing phenomenal. He's got the record, I think, for consecutive 10 catch games, with 150 receiving yards. Yeah. So, absolutely stellar performance the last few weeks. So that's why I have him up there. I think obviously down the stretch is really where teams and players start to separate themselves in the MVP race. And I think Brock Purdy has a really good shot to do that. They have a pretty tough stretch coming up, and if he can be consistent, I think he can come out and win the thing.
Yeah, so I think so too. I mean, at this point, it's anyone's.
It's a wide open race.
It's a wide open race. Yeah. I have Stroud at 1, but truth is, it's wide open.
Yeah, I really don't have anybody right now at 1. Those are just my 3 guys that I think are. Yeah. One of those 3 guys is probably going to win it. Yep. So, all right, cool. Let's move on to Pick 6. Games are getting ready to start here in about an hour or so.
Can't wait.
All right, I will go first. By the way, last week I went 6-0. You can rewind the YouTube and watch. This week I'm going with the 49ers again to handle business against Tampa Bay.
I like it.
And then I've got some surprises. I have the Rams beating Seattle because this is a trap game for Seattle as well. I have the Chargers winning. I have Tennessee beating Jacksonville in a surprise. I have Kansas City winning Monday night against the Eagles, mainly because I need the Eagles to lose a couple games. And I have the Broncos.
All right. Yeah, I've got the Browns over the Steelers. I've got the Texans over the Cardinals. I've got the Jags over Tennessee. Yep. I've got Minnesota over Denver. I've got Washington over the Giants. and the Dolphins over the Raiders.
Over the Raiders. I almost picked the Raiders, to be honest with you. I'm telling you, I like that mojo they got going, man. I'm telling you, emotion and momentum is a crazy thing in the NFL. It's unlike any other sport. And they got 2 wins in a row. I know they are against teams that are pretty bad, but that's all it takes is a little bit of momentum. So, but I think Miami's going to come out. That's why I didn't put them on. All right, cool. So let's talk about the differences we have.
Yeah, the Jags. You got Tennessee.
I got Tennessee. Tennessee.
Pretty bold, I think.
I think that,
but it's a division game.
Yeah, I think the Tennessee Titans are going to take a page out of the San Francisco 49ers playbook from last week. They're going to put a ton of pressure. Not that they have the line that the 49ers have, but they're going to put a ton of pressure on T-Law. I believe that they're going to take a page out of their playbook on the offensive side, and they are going to feed the beast, which they normally do anyways, and give the ball to King Henry a lot. And I really think that they're going to control the clock, and it's going to be a close game. As you mentioned, division games always come down to a play here or there.
Yeah,
I think the ball's going to bounce Tennessee's way today. Will Levis he's not a superstar, but he's pretty darn good. He can make some throws, and I think he gives them a better chance than Tannehill was giving them. So
yeah,
I'm going to roll with Tennessee.
All right.
I like it.
I like
think
your
Jacksonville
argument.
might still be a little hungover from that ass whooping they got.
Yeah, they did get smacked up pretty good. But that also might make them pretty hungry. And then
It might, but over the last 2 years, teams that have played the 49ers haven't had a great track record the following week.
This is true. I'm going to go Jags because I think they're going to do what you're saying, and I think they're going to pressure Levis. I think they're going to put enough pressure on Levis, force him into some mistakes.
Okay.
Obviously, they can hand the ball off, but once they realize, that they can get pressure on Levis and force him into mistakes, you can stack that box. It's going to be a low-scoring game, in my opinion, but I'm going to take the Jags in this one.
Okay. I like it. Again, division game should be a close, exciting game, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags won. I just picked Tennessee because I think it's Jacksonville's got that. They're going to have that 49ers hangover. All right. And then we have the Broncos and the Vikings. Different, I don't know why I picked the Broncos, to be honest with you. I don't have a reason other than come on, dude. The Disney movie's got to end at some point.
It's funny you said that because I don't have a specific reason why I picked Minnesota. I felt good about it. I feel good about Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
I feel good about the weapons there. But Russ has been playing better. This game could go either way, but I like Minnesota. I think they're playing pretty well right now, and Dobbs is doing his job and.
Yeah, he's definitely doing his job. That's for sure. You mentioned Russ is playing a lot better.
Yeah.
We were talking yesterday. I looked it up. He has the second best touchdown to interception ratio in the league. I think he's at 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So,
nice.
up until a couple weeks ago, he only had 2 picks. So. Playing a lot better, starting to look like the Russell Wilson the Broncos maybe thought they were getting a year and a half ago. So, hey, better late than never, I guess.
It took a little while. Probably happy about it.
I think that's probably the biggest reason I picked Denver is I like their defense, number one. I think they're not as good as they were last year, but they still can make some plays. They still got some guys that can play. And I think that Russell Wilson's going to make enough plays to pull out the victory. So it should be another exciting game, obviously. Vikings are right there in the hunt, still fighting for a playoff spot. Not far out of one of those top 2 or 3 seeds, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
All right. Let's see what else you got here. Cleveland over Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be another good, exciting game. If I had to bet, I'm betting on Mike Tomlin just because all he does is win.
He does. He does win. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. That's all I got on pick 6. Let's go ahead and jump over and finish up with a little bit of basketball talk. I'm going to give my top 5 for the first 12 games or so. I guess 2.5 weeks or so, month of the season, I guess. All right, at number 5, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. They're still trying to figure out Giannis and Dame. At number 4, I have the T-Wolves, who are surprisingly at number 1 in the West right now after beating Denver the other day. 76ers at number 3 look a lot happier without James Harden in the locker room. I have the Denver Nuggets, defending champions, at number 2. Joker is still the Joker. And then at number 1, I have the Boston Celtics, who have the best record in the league. They're on a 5-game winning streak and really look like they have hit the ground running with their new unit. Not a lot of time was needed for them so far to build that chemistry that you like to see in a championship team with their new pieces. So that's my NBA top 5. Right outside that, I have Dallas and OKC as my next 2 out. And I'm really excited about the season so far. Been a lot of exciting moments and games already, and we're only a month into the season. In-season tournaments going right now. I'll talk about that a little bit, but let me get your reaction to my top 5.
I like it. I won't give a ranking at all. Like, I won't provide I don't watch enough other teams. I follow the Celtics. I follow just the news surrounding it, but I don't watch enough games to give rankings of my own. I like the C's at 1. They're really consistent. Porzingis looks really good.
Huge difference
So
maker.
the chemistry there so early on in the season is pretty surprising, but works out for C's fans and C's.
Yep.
So you're right about the Sixers. They definitely, just the attitude,
Energy
and the energy. You could see. I've got a couple of buddies that are Sixers fans. They just are thrilled that Harden's not in the locker room. And T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards has arrived. That team looks really good. Bucks. They had a major comeback win last night against Dallas.
Yeah, that was a great game.
And then, of course, I like OKC outside of the top 5. I'd probably have them at 5 because I'm a little biased.
Yeah, I couldn't argue with you. I could.
Their offensive ratings and defensive ratings, they're the only team in the league actually top 5 in both. So I think that
they're really
that
good.
warrants them being in the top 5. They're super young. So I'm thrilled. I think basketball is exciting for me again. It was a while there where I wasn't watching much. But
oh man, I went like 2 years out. Asked this guy about basketball. He'd be like, I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, when I'm a fan, I'm a fan. Yeah. But if my team's not doing so great, it is what it is.
Yep, I agree. So, all right, cool. So that's my NBA top 5. I'll go ahead and run this throughout the week. We'll add more NBA topics as we go throughout the year, as football starts to wind down and the NBA starts to ramp up. Obviously, our topics will change accordingly. So let us know what you think about all the topics that we went over today, because that's all we got. We're about to get ready to go watch some football here in about an hour.
Yeah.
Go 49ers. They play the late game. Don't forget.
Get your rally towel.
Go get your red and gold rally towel from touchdownthreads.shop. And hope you have a great day. Unless you're a fucking Cowboys fan. Then I hope you just have an okay day.
Yeah.
Peace.
See you.